Good morning, dear students of grade 6. Today we're going to have a revision on grammar based on the grammar course book, your grammar book. Let's start. Please open page 79. This is review 3 on units 5 and 6. Now, the first exercise is complete the sentences with the correct form of the future simple or be going to. So we're going to use will, future, or be going to. Use the verbs in brackets. The first one is always answered. Lizzie promises she won't take up an extreme sport. Why did we use will here or won't as a negative? Because we have the keyword promises. As we agreed earlier, promise is a keyword for future simple will. Please cross out number 2. We didn't take it. Number 3. Look, Tina is first. She, the swimming race, and we need to use the verb win. Alright, let's look for a keyword here. Look, Tina is first. So it means that I'm looking at what's going on here. So, do you know the answer? Is it will or going to? Look. So I'm seeing the action happening. So yes, the answer is going to win. Because I can see and I have an evidence, a proof. Okay, number 4. Turn down the volume on your computer or I and the verb turn off. Let's look for any keyword here. Turn down the volume on your computer or, yes, this is warning. And for warnings, do we use future simple or going to? Yes, we use future simple. So the answer is I will turn it off. Alright? I will turn it off. Warning. Cross out number 5, it's cancelled. Number 6, Sam has decided that she as a volunteer this summer. Okay, Sam has decided and this summer. So this is not a fast decision, no, because I'm planning or he is planning, Sam is planning to do it this summer. So it's a, yes, future plan. So the answer is, and take care, it's a sentence, of course, and we have a negative here. So we have to add the negative to the sentence. So the answer is, she isn't going to work. She isn't going to work. Yes. Okay, cross out number 7. 8. Mom, me to school tomorrow. Mom to school tomorrow and a question mark. So bear in mind, this is a question. Okay. Number 2. Is this future simple or going to? Let's look for a keyword. To school tomorrow. So this is a plan. So I'm asking for the plans of mom. So I'm going to use going to. Mom, are you going to drive me to school tomorrow? Right? Let's turn to the next exercise. Let's open page 103. And this is review 4 on unit 7 and 8. Complete the sentences, use the words in brackets. Let's look at the sentences. If, unless. So this is about conditional if. We've taken 0 conditional, first and second. But notice, we have a question here that's crossed out. Whenever we cross out an exercise, it means that few of the questions are not included in our syllabus for grade 6. Let's start number 1, which is always answered. If you press this button, the computer will turn off. Which conditional is this? Yes, this is the first conditional. How did I know? Because the result clause includes will and infinitive. Not only this, but also this is a possibility. So number 1 is first conditional. Let's see number 2. Dan his cash card unless he runs out of money. Oh, let's think. Which conditional is this? We have unless. We use unless for which conditional? Yes, for the first conditional. And also the sentence includes possibility. So we're going to use on the result clause, like the first one, yes, future will. And of course it's negative, so we're going to put won't use. 3. Slippery if it rains. Which conditional is this? Slippery if it rains. Which conditional? Yes, it's first conditional. But remember, this is a question. So we have to put the result clause in question form. And the result clause in the first conditional is, again, it's will. So we're going to ask, using will this road be? Of course, be, because the verb after will is always infinitive. That's correct. 4. If I cycle to school, it me 15 minutes. Which conditional is this? It's very easy because the if clause is past simple. And we said before that the past is only in the second conditional. So if I cycle to school, it, yes, what's the second conditional here in the result clause? We use would. It would take me 15 minutes. And again, the verb is always infinitive. 5. If you kept it away from the sunlight and a question mark. Again, what conditional is this? Oh, let's look at the if clause. If you kept it away, kept is the past simple, right? So this is, yes, this is second conditional. Again, we have a question here. So we're going to use in the result clause would. Excellent. Would this plant grow if you keep it away from the sun? Please remember that the second conditional is used for the imaginary situations, which means the unreal situations. Or if I'm giving an advice, like I'm saying, if I were you. Also remember that unless replaces the if in the negative form for the first conditional. Let's keep on the same page, 103, exercise 4. Choose the correct answers. Please cross out numbers 1 and 2 because, as we said earlier, some parts are not included in your syllabus for grade 6. Number 3, we're still in the if conditional. If I, space, where your memory stick was, I would tell you. Now look at would here. I would tell you in the result clause, which means it's in, yes, the second conditional. So the if clause has to be in what tense? In the past simple. So the answer should be if I knew. If I knew where your memory stick was. Number 4, as long as your brother with you, you can go to the party. We have 2 keywords here. As long as is a keyword that this is the first conditional, and also can, which can replace will, is also a keyword for the first conditional. So the if clause or as long as clause should be goes, present simple tense. As long as your brother goes with you, you can go to the party. Again, the first conditional here means possibility. Now let's open page 129. This is a different lesson in units 9 and 10, which is complete the sentences with direct or reported speech. So in this question, sometimes he asked me to change the direct into reported and the reported into direct speech. Let's see. The first one is answered. I'm starting my French course tomorrow, Kelly said. Well, this is a quotation, so we need to turn it into a reported speech. Kelly said that we have to cross out the inverted commas and and the comma, and then add that to the sentence. And because the sentence is in the present continuous, so we have to turn it into past continuous. Kelly said that she was starting her French course. Tomorrow, we have to make a change here. Tomorrow turns into the following day or the next day. Number 2, the math teacher told Billy to stop talking. Yes, we need to turn it into a quotation. Okay, the math teacher told Billy. So now we have to add the inverted commas. Okay, told here means what? Is this a statement, a command, or a request? Told Billy to and infinitive? Yes, this is a command or an order. So we're going to start with the imperative form. Stop talking, and don't forget the inverted commas. The math teacher told Billy. 3. There was a bad accident in the center of London last week, Dad said. Dad said, yes, we have to cross out the inverted commas and the comma, and we're going to add that. Dad said that. What's the tense here? There was and last week? Yes, it's past simple tense. In this case, we turn the past simple into past perfect. Remember, past perfect means had and past participle of the verb. So we're going to say, Dad said that their past perfect of was is had been, because had and past participle of verb to be. There had been a bad accident in the center of London. Oh, last week needs to be changed. Yes. What do we change it into? The previous week or the week before. So let's see. Dad said that there had been a bad accident in the center of London the previous week or the week before. Please cross out numbers 4, 5, and 6. Number 7. You will receive a full grant. The university lecturer told me. The university lecturer told me. Yes, we should cross out the inverted commas and the comma. And then you. And he's speaking to me. So we need to change it into I. I will turns into would. Excellent. I would receive a full grant. That's correct. University lecturer told me that I would receive a full grant. Please cross out number 8. Number 9. Mom told me not to go out in the storm that night. Oh, we need to turn it into a quotation. So we're going to add inverted commas. That's correct. And told here means it's a statement, a command, or request. It's a command or an order. Remember, there is a not here. So it's an order in the negative form. So it's going to be don't go out in the storm. Remember, that night becomes this night. Okay, number 10. The employees must have a lunch break, the manager said. The manager said, yes, cross out the inverted commas, cross out the comma, add that. Excellent. Must turns into had to. Excellent. Must becomes had to, so the manager said that the employees had to have infinitive, a lunch break. Number 11. We watched a DVD before dinner. The children said. The children said, cross out the inverted commas and the comma, and we. Is it going to be we? The children said we. So the children said that they. They, and then what's the tense here? past simple. As we said earlier, past simple turns into past perfect. Excellent. Had and past participle. So the children said that they had watched a DVD before dinner. Please cross out number 12. Let's open page 130, review 5 for units 9 and 10. So this means this is a different lesson, and yes, it's the passive voice. Question 3, circle the correct words. Number 1 is always answered. On Tuesday, 12 January 2010, Haiti struck or was struck by. Oh, we have by here, and we have the object. So this is passive voice. So we need to put the verb to be in the tense of the sentence. And since we have 12 January 2010, so this happened in the past. So we use was and then the verb in past participle. Was struck by an earthquake that measured 7 on the Richter scale. Let's see the second sentence. It was a disaster and hundreds of thousands of people, their lives. Oh, is this an active or a passive voice? Let's check. Do we have by here? No. Alright, let's check something else. Did we start with the subject or the object? We started with the subject. People. So we need to put it in the normal active tense, of course, still in the past simple tense. So it's going to be thousands of people, yes, lost their lives. Let's see number 3. The rescuers calculated that nearly 1/3 of the country's entire population by the quake. Oh, is this an active or passive voice? By the quake, of course it's an active voice. Not only this, but also the population, it's not the doer of the action. It's not a subject. So 1/3 of the country's entire population were being or had been affected. What's the tense here? Is it past continuous or past perfect? Yes, it's past perfect. So the passive voice is had been affected. Welcome back, dear students. I hope you're doing well. Let's continue our grammar revision for this term. And we are still in review 5, open page 130. Exercise 3, circle the correct words. And the first one is always answered. On Tuesday, 12 January 2010, Haiti struck or was struck by a huge earthquake. So this is about the active and the passive voice. How did we know that this is a passive voice? 2 things. The first thing is we have by, which means it's a passive voice. And the second thing is look for Haiti. Is it the subject or the object? In other words, is it the doer of the action or the receiver of the action? Haiti struck, so this city is the one that struck or it received the action? Yes, it received the action by the earthquake, because the earthquake is the one that struck Haiti. So it's a passive voice. Let's see number 2. It was a disaster and hundreds of thousands of people lost or were lost their lives. Again, let's see if this is an active or a passive voice. Let's see first, do we have by here? No. Second thing, hundreds of thousands of people, are they the doer or the receiver of the action? Which means, are they the ones that lost their lives or they received the lossing? Yes, they lost their lives. So this is an active voice. 3. The rescuers calculated that nearly 1/3 of the country's entire population by the quake. Again, we have by, and also the country's population affect. Is the population the one that did the action or received the action? Yes, received the action, so it's a passive voice. Let's look at the tense here. Were being affected or had been affected. So was it originally past continuous or past perfect? Yes, past perfect. So it's going to be had been affected. All right, number 4. The Haitian government estimated that 250,000 homes and 30,000 commercial buildings had collapsed, damaged, had been severely damaged. Okay, so is this an active or a passive voice? Let's think. The buildings, all right, they collapsed, yes, but in the damaging, are they the doers or the receivers? What do you mean by this? So the buildings, are they the ones that damaged, or someone else damaged the buildings, or something else? Yes, something else damaged the buildings. So the buildings are the receivers of the action. So they had been severely damaged. Passive voice. 5. This meant that communication systems, many roads, broke down or were broken, active or passive. Oh, let's see. The communication systems. Is it the one that did the action, the breaking down, or something else broke down the system? Yes, they were broken down. It's passive voice. Number 6. Many roads blocked or were blocked. Again, ask yourself, the roads here, are they the ones that did the action or received the action? So, do the roads block? Can they do that? No, they received the action. So, many roads were blocked. 7. Many hospitals were destroyed or destroyed. Ask yourself, are the hospitals capable of destroying? Are they the ones that did the action? No, so it's not an active voice, it's a passive voice. They received the action. Something else destroyed the hospitals. So many hospitals were destroyed, which made the situation even worse. The word didn't hesitate to act. Number 8, aid received or was received from many different countries. Again, ask yourself, the aid means help. The aid receive or it received the receiving? Yes, aid cannot receive. So aid was received, passive voice. From many different countries, a variety of fundraising activities set up or were set up. Again, activities here. Is it the one that did the action, the setup, or received the action, which means someone else did the action? Yes, were set up, passive voice. And money and goods are donated or were donated by countries' individuals. Again, we have by here, which is clear evidence for passive voice, and also the goods received the action. But here he wants to ask you what's the tense here. Is it present? So we're going to use are, or past? So we're going to use were. Since the whole passage was in the past tense, so yes, were donated. Let's move to exercise 4. Write sentences in the passive voice. So this one we're going to turn the active sentence into a passive voice. Number 1, please cancel number 1. Number 2, all candidates must fill in this information. The first thing is, this is the subject, then the verb must fill, and this information is the object. So first we have to start with the object, this information, and then must here we have to add the verb to be. So it's going to be must be, and the main verb turns into the past participle. So this information must be filled by all candidates. Let's see. This information must be filled by all candidates. Number 3, they won't renovate the town hall this summer. Again, they is the subject, won't renovate the verb, the town hall is the object. So we're going to start with the town hall. Well, what tense is this sentence? It's future, but in the negative form. So we have to put the verb to be in, yes, the future negative form. So it's going to be won't be and the verb in the past participle. So the town hall won't be renovated this summer by them. Remember, by they becomes them. Number 4, the bricklayer was mixing the cement at 7 o'clock this morning. Again, the bricklayer, the subject. Was mixing is the verb. The cement is the object. So we have to start with the cement. What tense is this sentence? Was mixing? Yes, it's past continuous. So we have to turn the verb to be into past continuous tense, the same tense of the main sentence. So it's going to be was being. What about the verb? Mix. Yes, turn it into past participle. So it's going to be was being mixed. And by the bricklayer, and please put the time expression at the very end of the sentence. So, the cement was being mixed by the bricklayer at 7 o'clock this morning. Number 5, I've already walked the dogs. Again, I is the subject. Have already walked the verb, and the dogs is the object. So let's start with the dogs. Excellent. And then what's the tense here? Have already walked. Yes, present perfect. So again, we have to put the verb to be in the same tense, which is the present perfect tense. Have been. What about already? Where do we put already? Do you remember? Yes, between the verb and been. So it's going to be they have already been, and the verb past participle walked. Of course, we can add by, and then I becomes me. The last one, my parents are going to buy a summer house. Again, my parents is the subject, are going to buy the verb, a summer house the object. So let's start with a summer house. What's the tense here? Are going to. Yes, it's future going to. Let's turn the verb to be in the same tense. So it's going to be a summer house or no. Please be aware of the subject-verb agreement. So house here needs is, not are. So it's going to be a summer house is going to be, and the verb by. The past participle is, yes, boat. A summer house is going to be bought by my parents. Okay. Please open page 174. Exercise 3. The words in bold are wrong, incorrect. Write the correct words. Again, please cross out from 1 to 4, as we said earlier, not included in your syllabus. Number 5. Providing you will have sent us a CV, the manager will contact you. So we have a mistake here, which is the word in bold. Will have sent. Let's see why is it a mistake. Providing. Do you remember which conditional is this? Yes, we use providing, provided, as long as for the first conditional. So, providing you, in the first conditional, what about the if clause? We have to put it in, yes, the present simple tense. Of course, this is totally wrong. What's the present simple tense of have sent? Yes, send. Excellent. 6. If Tanya has a mobile phone, she would send you a multimedia message. Tanya has and she would. She would means what conditional is this? Second conditional, imaginary situation. So if Tanya, present simple? No, the second conditional needs the past simple tense. What's the past of have? Had. Excellent. 7. If you had a driving license, you can drive my car. Oh, if you had. So the if clause here is in the past tense, which means this is, yes, the second conditional. So in the second conditional, the result clause should be would or could, because we used can here. Excellent. So it needs to be could drive. Remember, the verb is always in the infinitive form. 8. Unless we agreed on renewable sources of energy, there will be a crisis. Unless, again, unless means, yes, first conditional. And the if clause should be in the present simple tense. So agreed becomes agree. Okay, let's open page 177. Exercise 4, the words in bold are wrong, write the correct words. So it's the same question, we have some incorrect words in bold that we have to write them in the correct form. Please cross out number 1, 3, 6 and 8. 2. She said her desk had looked dirty yesterday. So yesterday is wrong here. Why? She said. This is a reported speech. Remember, we make a change in time. Yesterday becomes, yes, the previous day or the day before. 4. They told me going to the office. Told me here means this is a statement or a command or a request. Yes, it's a command. Remember, in the command and the request we use after told me, the to and the infinitive, not the gerund. So it's going to be the told me to go. 5. He told me he was watching TV at this moment. The mistake here is not the verb, it's here, this moment. Reported speech, we turn this into that, at that moment. 7. She said me to open my book. Do we ever use a pronoun with said? No. Which one uses the pronoun here? Yes, told. She told me to open my book. And of course, this is a command. Let's move to exercise 5, rewrite again. Rewrite the sentences using the passive voice. So again, these are all in active voice and we're going to turn them to passive voice. Number 1, the local council should build a new leisure center. Again, the local council is the subject. The verb should build and the object a new leisure center. We need to start with a new leisure center. Then, what should we do here? We have should and build, the modal verb. Yes, we add the verb to be. Should be. What about the verb? We have to turn it to passive, to past participle. So a new leisure center should be built and then by the local council. 2. The police will prosecute the thieves. Okay, the police, the subject, will prosecute the verb and the thieves is the object. So let's start with the thieves. What about the tense here? What's the tense of the sentence? Future will. So we're going to put the verb to be in the same tense. So it's going to be the thieves will be. What about the verb prosecute? Yes, the past participle is prosecuted. What about the police? By the police. Well, here we can put it between brackets. Why? Because it's already known that the police will prosecute the thieves. So it could be erased. So can I say the thieves will be prosecuted and that's it? Yes, it could be put or erased. 3. The civil engineer has designed a new bridge. Now, the subject is the civil engineer. The verb is has designed and the object is a new bridge. So again, let's start with the object, a new bridge. What's the tense here? Yes, has designed. The tense is present perfect. So we have to put the verb to be in the same tense. So it's going to be has been, and the past participle is the same, designed, because it's a regular verb. Then we can say by the civil engineering, or we can cross it out because it's already known that the civil engineer has designed a new bridge. So we can cross it out or leave it. 4. The local primary school is going to raise money for charity. Again, the local primary school is the subject. The verb is going to future tense, and then money is the object. So let's start with money. What about the tense? We have to put the verb to be in the same tense. So it's going to be money is going to be. The verb raise is going to turn into the past participle, which is raised. And then by the local primary school. 5. The sales assistant accused the customer of stealing. Again, the subject is the sales assistant. The verb is accused and the object is the customer. Let's see the customer, start with it. The customer, what about the verb? Accused, it's in the past simple tense. So we're going to put the verb to be in the same tense, which is, what's the simple tense of verb to be? Yes, it was. So we're going to say the customer was, and the past participle accused the sales assistant of stealing. Or the customer was accused of stealing by the sales assistant. Let's preferably put by at the very end of the sentence. The last one. Millions of viewers enjoyed the World Cup final. Again, the subject, millions of viewers, the verb enjoyed, and the object, the World Cup final. So let's start with the World Cup final. And the tense here is enjoyed, past simple tense. So let's put the verb to be in the same tense. What's the past simple tense of verb to be? The World Cup final was, because it's a singular. And then we put enjoy in the past participle. So it's going to be the World Cup final was enjoyed by millions of viewers. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. I wish you the best of luck.